Fear of failure is a very commonly recognized and almost logical thing to fear. Excessive fear of failure is obviously a massive problem, but actually a lot of people I work with have a sneaky fear of success. And I say sneaky because they often don't recognize it as being such. They think it's a fear of failure, and there may be that element to it. But if I asked you to list your fears, it's highly unlikely that you would actually think, yeah, I've got a fear of success. But it's one of the most common things that is not really recognized. And this is why I'm recording this short training for you, because a lot of people I've worked with, they may have had imposter syndrome or fear of judgment or criticism or fear of failure, the big three that get in the way. But this one is sneaky, it hides, and it is unexpected, and it really makes people think, I didn't know I was doing that. So it's really good to check this out, because if you are, it can put a massive brake on your success. So one part of your brain is thinking, yeah, let's do it. Let's drive forward. Let's do well, succeed, achieve your goals. But more people than you think have another part of their brain, a process in their brain that fears, and this is the important thing. It's not success. It's the consequences of success. So it's not, this is why it catches people out, because having a goal and thinking, I'd love to achieve that, a monetary goal or a lifestyle goal through what you're doing, or achieving a position within a company, whatever it happens to be. It's not usually that. And that's why it doesn't get triggered. What happens unconsciously is what they think might be the problems from achieving that. So when we're looking at a goal, we don't tend to look sometimes too far into the consequences of achieving that thing. Now, we do that when we're making decisions. We think, is this going to be a good thing for me to do or not? But because seems so illogical, we don't look at the consequences of success and then go, hang on a second, I'm going to sabotage myself here. It's just not something that we naturally, logically do. But fear of success is just as damaging as the fear of failure. So people often put an artificial glass ceiling on what they'll allow themselves to achieve. So they're thinking, I want to achieve this. I want to go for these levels of success, whatever it happens to be for you. But another part of their thinking says, no, I'm not going to let you go there. I'm not going to let you just succeed with this. And you'll often see this. And when I've run programs with people, I often see people 2/3 of the way into the program saying they've been really enjoying the program, learned so much from it, and then they start to sabotage 2/3 of the way in, because they can see the end coming. They can see the end coming, and it's like, oh, well, now is that fear of failure or is fear of success? And it's really important to find out which one, or even both, if that's what's triggering it off. There's another phenomenon that happens when people get 90% of the way to doing something and they just don't complete the last bit. So it's about what you won't let yourself have. It's about, it might be imposter syndrome. It may be, I'm not the person who can achieve this, but more commonly, it's about the consequences of having or achieving too much. And I've got two people just popped into my head, two clients, who both had these very, very strong glass ceilings when they wanted, and they said, I just keep stopping myself. One person started sabotaging sales calls. So they run their own business, and they got up to a level of money that when they hit that every month, they started sabotaging sales calls, and they didn't know why they did it. But there's a reason, and it came from their past, and it was all about not being greedy, having too much. And another person who was in a different scenario, different context, much bigger company, but again, it was their own company, that they had achieved success before, made money in other words, then lost it. So success to them would then be followed by failure, and really bad failure, because I've achieved it, and then they lost their gains very, very quickly. So part of their brain saying, that was so horrible, that was such a bad experience, that I'm never going to let you get to that level of success again, because following it comes a terrible feeling of failure and the consequences of that. So there are many reasons it happens. Sometimes it's, I don't come from a background where you can have that sort of abundance, that sort of success. What will my family think of me if I am that successful? So there's all sorts of things that it triggers it off, but it's always in there. We always find it within the first 2 hours. And it's often hidden, but it's always in there. So if you suspect that you hold yourself back or snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory, and you think, hang on a second, this seems to be a pattern. It may be fear of failure, but it may be fear of success. It may even be both, because that's not uncommon. So if you know you're capable, you have ambition, you create possibly a level of success, but for some reason you just can't get through it, then give us a call. Just get in touch. Book a call in, we'll have a chat. It's pretty easy to find out. I can have a conversation with you and we can work out what you need to work on. And it takes about 4 weeks to deal with this. That's all. But often people have had it years and years and years, and it really damages results, lifestyles, what you can do with, you know, what you want to do in your life, with your business, with your career. I haven't talked much about a career, but often people will think, this is imposter syndrome. Well, that's my level. I can't go any higher than that. But you want to. So if you want to achieve more, but you know somehow you're holding yourself back, if you've got a conflict like that, that's perfect. We can solve that conflict. That's what we do here at Certain Change. So, hope this has been useful to you. Fear of failure. It's very easy to get an excessive fear of failure. But also, we need to check out, is there a sneaky fear of success? And if there is, we can turn that off too, which just allows you to get on with it and achieve the things you know you already should have done. Anyway, thanks for your time. Hope this has been useful. And please either book in, there's probably a link around you can use to book straight into my diary, or send an email over and we can organise a chat. Thanks for your time.